Whether you admit it or not, some level of dirty hands often plays a part in creating extreme wealth. Just ask any billionaire. But when it comes to fraud boys chasing quick riches, their biggest enemy isn't just the law, it's their own careless mistakes. Today, we're exposing the top blunders that land them straight on the FBI's radar. If you're a legit business person or just curious, this video is a must-watch. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Wicked Blogger Ghana for the raw and filtered truth. In today's video, we will take time and educate this unique family on some top mistakes fraud boys make that lead the FBI right to their doorsteps. Here are some common mistakes that fraud boys, internet scammers, often make that land them in trouble with the FBI and other international law enforcement agencies. 1. Flashing wealth online, flexing. One of the most common mistakes fraudsters make is the uncontrollable urge to show off their sudden wealth online, a behavior popularly known as flexing. This usually involves posting photos and videos of expensive cars, designer outfits, luxury watches, stacks of cash, high-end gadgets, and lavish vacations on platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and even Facebook. While this might attract admiration from followers and peers, it also catches the sharp eyes of law enforcement agencies like the FBI, Interpol, and local cybercrime units. Why? Because when someone who has no known business, job, or legitimate income source is constantly flaunting luxury and wealth, it raises immediate red flags. Investigators begin to ask, where is the money coming from? Does this person pay taxes? Is this lifestyle funded by crime or fraud? Many fraudsters don't realize that authorities now monitor social media, just like they monitor phone records or bank statements. Online flexing has helped law enforcement build cases and connect the dots in countless fraud investigations. Once someone's lifestyle doesn't match their declared income or profession, they become a person of interest. Even worse, the content you post stays online forever. Screenshots, reposts, and digital footprints make it easy for investigators to gather evidence, even if the original post is later deleted. In summary, flashing wealth without a legitimate paper trail is like putting a big red target on your back. What seems like harmless bragging today could become key evidence tomorrow in a fraud case. If you can't explain your riches, showing them off only speeds up your downfall. 2. Using US financial systems. Another major mistake fraudsters make is moving stolen or suspicious money through US-based financial systems like American banks, PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, and other popular digital payment platforms. These systems are heavily monitored by American authorities, especially the FBI, IRS, and Homeland Security, because the US government treats financial fraud as a national security threat. Many fraudsters, especially those operating from outside the US, believe they are safe simply because they are physically far from America. But once you start using US systems, especially by creating fake accounts, using stolen identities, or receiving money from victims in the US, you enter American jurisdiction. That gives agencies like the FBI the legal right to investigate you and, in serious cases, request your arrest and extradition. For example, if a fraud boy in Ghana or Nigeria uses a stolen US identity to open a PayPal account and receive money, that case becomes federal fraud in the US. Even though the person is not in America, the crime touches American soil through the banking system. That's enough for an international investigation to begin. These platforms also use advanced fraud detection systems powered by artificial intelligence. Once suspicious patterns are detected, like large transfers, multiple linked accounts, or frequent foreign login flags are raised. From there, your name, location, and online activity can be shared with US federal agencies. In short, using American financial platforms while engaging in fraud is one of the fastest ways to land on the FBI's radar. It connects you directly to their legal system, and no matter where you're hiding, they can begin working with your country's authorities to track you down. 3. Targeting Americans. One of the most serious mistakes fraudsters make is choosing to scam US citizens. Whether it's through romance, scams, fake online businesses, email hacking, advance fee fraud, or investment cons, once an American becomes a victim, the situation escalates to a federal crime. And that automatically brings in the FBI. Why? Protecting American citizens, especially their financial security, is a top priority for US law enforcement. The moment a US citizen reports being scammed, no matter where the fraudster is located, the FBI, along with agencies like the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, and the Department of Justice, DOJ, begins tracking the source. It doesn't matter if the scammer is thousands of miles away in Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, or elsewhere else, long as the crime affects an American, the US will act. The FBI sees this as not just theft, but an attack on the country's financial and digital security. This is why many fraud boys who think they are safe overseas end up being traced, arrested, and extradited. The US has strong international partnerships and can request local security agencies in other countries to assist in making arrests. So, whether it's catfishing someone on a dating site, tricking a US company through a fake business deal, or impersonating an American executive via email to steal funds, the moment the victim is an American, is game over. Targeting US citizens is like waving a red flag at the FBI. And once they're on your trail, they don't stop until you're caught. 4, working in groups or boasting in chats. Many fraudsters make the critical mistake of working in groups and bragging about their illegal activities in online spaces like Telegram groups, WhatsApp chats, Discord servers, and private fraud forums. In these places, they often share stolen information, scam techniques, fake documents, money laundering methods, and even screenshots of successful scams as proof to gain respect from peers. What they forget is that these groups are not safe. Law enforcement agencies like the FBI, Secret Service, and even local cybercrime units regularly infiltrate these communities undercover. They join quietly, observe everything, and gather evidence without raising suspicion. Some agents pose as fellow fraudsters, earning trust and gaining access to confidential conversations and materials. In some cases, the group members accidentally expose each other by revealing phone numbers, usernames, wallet addresses, or locations that can be traced. Even deleted chats aren't always safe. Many messaging apps keep encrypted records, and once a device is seized, the full chat history can often be recovered. Also, when fraud boys boast or try to outshine one another, they end up posting too much bank receipts, transaction proofs, photos with luxury cars, or even voice notes discussing deals. All of this can be used as evidence in court. The truth is simple. The FBI and other law enforcement agencies are watching. They are patient. They build cases quietly over weeks or months, gathering digital footprints and identifying each member of a group. Then, when the time is right, they strike, often arresting multiple people at once across different countries. So, working in fraud groups and bragging online is not just risky, it's one of the fastest ways to get caught. 5, reusing IPs and devices. One of the most common and careless mistakes fraudsters make is reusing the same IP addresses, devices, and SIM cards across multiple scams. While they may think using a VPN or a proxy server protects them, the truth is many of them either don't use these tools properly or forget to switch them regularly, leaving a digital trail that investigators can easily follow. Every phone, computer, or router has a unique identifier called an IP address or device fingerprint, which can be tracked by law enforcement agencies. If the same IP or phone is used across different fraud activities, it links all those crimes together, creating a strong profile for investigators. Even if they create fake social media accounts or use burner emails, the reused device or IP makes it easier to connect those accounts to the same person. Many scammers also forget to change devices frequently, use clean, untraceable SIM cards, clear cookies and browsing data, avoid logging into personal accounts from scam phones. Some even switch between fraud and their personal use on the same device using the same phone to talk to victims and then to post on Instagram. That mix-up is all the FBI needs. What makes it worse is that US platforms like Gmail, Facebook, PayPal, and Cash App log user IPs and devices every time you log in. These logs are stored and can be shared with law enforcement upon request. So, once you're flagged, it's only a matter of time before all your connected accounts, emails, and online behavior are traced. In short, reusing IPs, devices, or SIMs is digital suicide for fraudsters. It gives investigators an easy way to tie everything back to one identity, even if fake names and documents were used throughout. 6. Poor operational security, OPSEC. Many fraudsters underestimate the importance of operational security, OPSEC, the practice of keeping your real identity completely hidden while committing online crimes. But even the most careful fraud boys often make small, costly mistakes that expose their entire operation. They might use a real name, phone number, email address, or home address when registering accounts, signing up for delivery services, or receiving goods like phones, laptops, or clothing bought with stolen cards. Sometimes they use a friend or relative's contact details, thinking it's safe, but all it takes is one mistake for authorities to trace everything back to them. Here are some common OPSEC slip-ups. Using their real phone number to verify a WhatsApp or Gmail account, logging into scam accounts from personal devices, accepting deliveries at their real home or known locations, using the same username or password across multiple platforms, keeping scam proceeds in their personal bank or mobile money account. Fraudsters often forget that every action online leaves a trace. And once a platform like PayPal, Facebook, or even MTN shares data with law enforcement, those small slips become powerful evidence in court. The FBI and cybercrime units rely heavily on poor OPSEC to catch fraudsters. One real name on an airline ticket, one selfie, one confirmed address. These are enough to dismantle an entire network. That's why in many arrests, it's not just about the scam itself, but about the trail of digital breadcrumbs the fraudster unknowingly leaves behind. Bottom line, bad OPSEC is the silent killer of online fraud. One careless mistake and it's game over. 7. Shipping goods to their home address. One of the most reckless mistakes many fraudsters make is shipping stolen goods directly to their own home or a nearby address. After using stolen credit cards to order expensive items like iPhones, MacBooks, designer clothes, or jewelry, some scammers send the packages straight to their residence, a friend's house, or even an address linked to them, thinking it's convenient or won't raise suspicion. But this is exactly what law enforcement hopes for. Once a merchant, bank, or victim reports fraud, investigators begin tracking the delivery address. If it leads to a known home or location, it becomes a physical lead, and this is often how scammers get arrested. Delivery records, CCTV footage, and even the person who signs for the package can all become part of the evidence. Even if fraud boys try to use different names or claim it was a mistake, the authorities can match phone numbers or emails used for tracking, connect the IP addresses from the order, monitor the drop-off spot with undercover officers, cross-reference with social media or delivery app data. Many fraud cases around the world, especially those involving electronics, have been cracked just by tracing the shipping details. Lesson here, shipping stolen goods to your home or anywhere nearby is like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs straight to your door. It turns online fraud into a real-world crime scene that's easy to track, especially when the FBI or cybercrime units are involved. 8. Scamming the wrong people. One of the quickest ways for a fraudster to get into serious trouble is by scamming the wrong target. While many aim for average individuals online, some mistakenly or carelessly target high-profile individuals, such as politicians, military officers, law enforcement agents, diplomats, or wealthy executives. The moment someone with power, influence, or direct access to security agencies becomes a victim, everything changes. These are not ordinary cases. They get escalated quickly to top investigation units like the FBI, Secret Service, Interpol, or the cybercrime divisions in their countries. What could have been a slow-moving investigation now becomes high priority, with advanced tracking, legal pressure, and diplomatic involvement. Here's what makes these cases dangerous for scammers. VIPs usually know who to call and can pull strings to fast-track investigations. Government employees may have classified data, making the scam a national security issue. Military or police victims trigger internal investigations that use tools beyond regular law enforcement. Some scammers don't even realize who they are targeting, for example, when using romance scams or fake investment schemes. But once the victim turns out to be a senator's relative or a defense official, the game changes. Authorities will throw all available resources into tracking down the fraudster, no matter where they are. Bottom line, scamming someone powerful turns a low-level crime into a top-level manhunt. And when that happens, you can't hide no matter where in the world you are. 9. Using US-based money mules. Many fraudsters think recruiting Americans to act as money mules people who receive and forward stolen or laundered money is a clever way to stay hidden. They believe that by using someone else's bank account, they can distance themselves from the crime and avoid detection. However, this tactic often backfires. When one of these money mules is caught by the FBI or other law enforcement agencies, they may choose to cooperate in exchange for reduced charges or immunity. Once they cooperate, they can provide crucial information that directly links the fraudster to the illegal activity. This cooperation can include revealing communication records, identifying the fraudster's real identity, tracking money flows and accounts, helping authorities understand the entire scam network. Because of this risk, using US-based money mules is like creating a weak link in the criminal chain. When that link breaks, it exposes the entire operation, leading to arrests and prosecution. In short, relying on money mules in the US might seem smart, but it's often the fraudster's undoing once law enforcement closes in. 10. Not knowing when to quit. One of the biggest mistakes fraudsters make is letting greed take over and continuing their illegal activities for too long. At first, the thrill and quick money can feel unstoppable, but the longer they stay active, the more digital footprints they leave behind. Every transaction, message, IP address, or online account becomes potential evidence. Law enforcement agencies like the FBI use advanced tools to collect, analyze, and connect these pieces of data to build strong cases. Fraudsters who don't know when to stop or who keep escalating their scams increase their chances of getting caught. Sometimes, just one careless action after months or years of running scams can unravel the entire operation. The lesson: knowing when to quit or lay low is critical. Ignoring this leads to piling up evidence, which makes it easier for the FBI or other agencies to trace, identify, and arrest them. Now you know the top mistakes that lead fraud boys right to the FBI's doorstep. Remember, it's not just about the crime mates, the trail of careless moves that brings them down. Stay smart, stay alert, and if you found this eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Wicked Blogger Ghana for more no-nonsense updates. Until next time, stay safe and keep hustling the right way.